Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and thank you for joining me for today's video, which is all about the Hermit Archetype using two of the soul plan energies. If you're new to my channel, then please don't forget to subscribe, because if you like my vibe or you're interested in what I'm talking about, then you will definitely enjoy the videos I have coming up in the future. So let's get started. So the inspiration for today's video came from a lovely lady on Instagram who we have been following each other for a while, and her name is Xiaoyan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And she runs the Intentional Life on Instagram. I know she has a very good following because she's a very authentic soul. And so if you don't know her, please do check her out because her vibe is fantastic. And she put up a story on her Instagram the other day talking about the Hermit Archetype and feeling isolated, wanting to withdraw from society, and once you're there, wanting to stay there. And as soon as I read this story, I thought to myself, wow, she's talking about two soul plan energies in particular, which may mean that she has them in her chart, or it might just mean that her audience do, and she's picking up on that vibe, that energy, and is sharing that. Coincidentally, saw this story and immediately reached out to her and said, actually, I think you're talking about these two energies. And so I'm creating this video to kind of answer that question, because I know there are so many people who actually feel they resonate with the Hermit Archetype, especially with spiritually open-minded people. So there are two soul plan energies that the Hermit Archetype essentially connects with. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you've not heard of soul plan before, then please do go and check my What is Soul Plan video and my How Soul Plan Changed My Life video, and then you'll find a lot more information, and I will put some links in the description box below so that you can click and have a look at those links and read more if you're interested, which I'm sure you will be after you hear this video. So the first energy is the energy number 5, and this is the energy of spirit and freedom. This is a very ethereal, light, almost angelic energy, and this is an energy that, because it's so light, because it doesn't really herald from earth, it doesn't feel like it fits in. Now this is pretty much all of the time, and because the energy doesn't feel like it fits in, people who have this energy will feel that way and will feel as though perhaps they are happier and safer when they are on their own, when they are away from society. So in soul plan, we do consider it to represent a wild woman or shaman or healer who would have lived on the outskirts of the village and separated themselves from society. Now, the reason they would do that, I will be doing a separate video about this energy so if this person sounds like you, if you think, yeah, I'm resonating with this, then you will definitely need to stay tuned to watch a video I have coming soon where I'll go into a lot more depth about the 5. But essentially, they're somebody who is meant to be separate from the rest of society because of the healing qualities they bring forth, because they are a bridge between the divine and between everything else. And they are also very sensitive. They're usually extremely intuitive and are able to pick up on other people's energies and the energies of the planet. And therefore, if they find, because they don't fit in and they're picking up on things that perhaps aren't that pleasant, they feel a lot happier and a lot safer to remove themselves and intentionally isolate themselves. And that's when they can become the Hermit Archetype. Now, people with this energy are very intuitive, as I say, but they are also very spiritually open-minded. So again, somebody who's very open-minded to spirit because they have this bridge connection with the divine, and at the same time, they're unable to fully ground and fully connect with earth because they're such a light, sensitive energy. So they tend to feel happier away from other people. So that's the first energy that you could be connected to if you resonate with the Hermit Archetype. The second energy is the energy number 7, and this is the energy of integration. Now this is a catalytic energy, which means it's here to create change within society. So people who have been historical change makers within society that we will have heard of is Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, just to name two people as an example who both have 7 and or 5 in their soul plan chart. And when you are here to create change, you obviously need to be able to create a connection with the people who are here to help inspire and create change within society. And so the 7 has a very magnetic quality about it, and therefore it's very good at drawing people to it, to be their audience or to be their friends or to work with them in a group or a healing circle, something along those lines. And therefore this energy can become a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of people it's connecting with, because this will filter into their everyday life, especially if this is in their worldly chart. So it'll be the kind of person who will be walking down the street and somebody will come up to them for directions, or somebody might just start telling them their life story, and this energy almost feels overwhelmed because they feel as though everywhere they go somebody wants something from them. And even though they are here to help create change, even though they love being around people and they are usually very open-hearted people, of course you need balance, you need to look after yourself. So this energy will usually require some kind of space that's separate to allow this person to recharge and rebalance. You know, the saying that you can't pour from an empty cup, and this energy will need to be looking after itself with self-care, self-love, in order to have filled up their cup, their well, so that they can go out and help other people. And when somebody does come up to them in the street and start telling them their life story, they are open and receptive to hearing it, and may or may not wish to give advice or guidance, or may just wish to hold space for them as they share their truth. However, what can happen with the 7 is that they get very comfortable being withdrawn away from people. They feel like they can let their shoulders drop, they feel they can relax, and they think, oh, I actually quite like this. And then they stay in that space and they isolate themselves further and further. And then you won't hear from them for weeks if they're your friend. You'll be thinking, I haven't had a text from John or Sarah for a really long time. Why not? And it'll be because they've got this 7 that's withdrawing them, and they're thinking, I feel really great, I don't feel bombarded, I'm just going to stay here and relax. And that is how they get into that hermit energy. But what is really important to remember with both of these energies, the 7 is all about integration. It's here to integrate everything within itself, its shadow and its light, and lots of people and being alone. Integrate that into perfect unison, into balanced harmony, so that they can move from that space. So if you have a 7 and you're drawn to that time alone, prioritize that. Schedule it into your life so that you don't feel like you have to retreat away from people because they're becoming too much. And if you have that 5, remember I say that it's about being a bridge, the mouthpiece, if you like, the spokesperson for the divine. And therefore you're here to serve the divine, and you're here to share things. And you will feel that bubbling up inside you, this desire to share what you know, either creatively or through written work or through speech. And so eventually both of these energies need to come out of that hermit cave. And maybe there's a bit of resistance, maybe they want to stay there because they're happy, they're comfortable, they feel safer, they feel more relaxed, and they need to remember they are here for a purpose. They're either here to incite change, however small that may be, just with one person, with a small group, with a large group, within the world. I'm not saying you have to become Mahatma Gandhi. And another celebrity who is very well known, who had 5s and 7s in their chart, is the singer Prince. So somebody who is very different, very out there, very open-minded, has a kind of otherworldly quality to them. He very much embodied that 5, as well as drawing people, large audiences to him, so that he could share this message and bridge that gap for them. So I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video and understand a little bit more about why you might be drawn to the Hermit archetype. Perhaps you have these energies in your chart. Now, if you don't know anything about soul plan, or if you'd like to find out more about these energies, then there are several ways that you can do that. Firstly, you can go and watch my Soul Plan Energy series and my videos, as I mentioned earlier, what is Soul Plan and how Soul Plan changed my life. Those are going to be really helpful to watch those and understand the 5 and the 7 in slightly more detail. Secondly, you can book in for a reading with myself if you resonate with me, if you feel like there's a connection. However, if you don't resonate with me, that's absolutely fine. There are over 1,500 other soul plan practitioners in the world. So all you need to do is click on the link that I will put in the description box below, and you can find your nearest practitioner. Perhaps you prefer face-to-face. I do live in the UK, so I understand if you live in Japan, you might think, oh gosh, time difference. But I have worked with people all over the world before, so don't let that put you off if you are thinking about reaching out. And then finally, if you are somebody who has relinquished all readings and is respecting your own channel and your own power, what you can also do is read the Soul Plan book. This is available on Amazon. I presume you'll be able to get it in other countries. As you can see, I've loved mine quite a lot. And there's a lot of information in this which will explain a lot about the 5 and the 7 and any other energies you may feel is within your chart, but you will obviously need to know your chart in order to connect with it, which is why a reading might be helpful for you. And there's also a very beautiful healing at the end of each session where we clear and release any blocks which you can't get from the book. So again, that might be another reason to get in contact with myself or another practitioner. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do let me know in the comments below. Alright, okay, have a fantastic day and I will see you in next week's video.